Jonathan, what would it mean for you to break the 1,000-yard mark?
I mean, that would be huge. I mean, especially in your rookie year, especially in a year like this, that would be something really special.
Stephen Holder.
Hey, Jonathan, we saw against a really physical defense like Pittsburgh, you had to really use the physical aspect of your game a lot, to get those extra yards. I know you did that in college too, but this is a different breed of guys you're playing against. How much have you had to lean on that physical nature that you run with at this level, and how has it served you well?
I mean, I think you have to rely on it quite a bit. I mean, especially when you think about the kind of seams and holes that you get here at this level. There's most of the time you're going to be running through some arm tackles. If not, you're going to have to run through a tackle. And I think just coming from the program that I came from and having the running style that I do has definitely helped me tremendously.
Phil B.
Just one quick follow-up. Do you think that can take a toll on a defense over time? I mean, obviously, it's not 1980. You're not running the ball 30 times, but can that take a toll on?
Yeah, it definitely can take a toll on the defense. Just running physically, taking the game to them and not allowing them to dictate the tempo of the game. It can definitely take a toll on the defense.
Phil B.
Yeah, Jonathan, your second touchdown at Pittsburgh, it looked like you anticipated contact and were prepared to bounce off that or at least drive through it. How much of that part of your game has improved, knowing when to open up and use your speed, but also understanding and anticipating contact and getting yards after contact?
Yeah, that definitely improved a lot. I mean, especially in goal line situations, it's kind of like a short yardage situation. I mean, you got to go get it. I mean, that's big boy football right there when you're in short yardage and goal line situation. So in your mind, you kind of already anticipate, how the down is going to go, unless you have some kind of scheme where you run into the pylon or something like that.
Thank you.
George Bremer.
Along those same lines, it seems like your lateral movement at line of scrimmage has improved. You're able to be a little more elusive. Is that something, not necessarily the lateral movement, but the elusiveness that you've specifically worked on this season?
Yeah, and that's something as a change up, being a physical downhill runner. Defenses, of course, watch film and then, they anticipate that. So then being able to, some games change up and being able to, kind of make them miss, have them, step in the opposite direction and then being able to go through a soft shoulder or something like that is something that you definitely work on, when you're a downhill runner.
A couple more here. Zach Kiefer.
Jonathan, rookie years never really go to plan, I would think, in this league, and it's not always a steady climb. What was the hardest moment for you this year? Because you've had some days that weren't great, right?
Yeah. Probably one of my hardest moments would definitely be, the first game of the season and just watching Marlon go down and knowing the work that he put in, knowing the help that he gave me throughout camp and the off season, and then kind of just realizing how my mindset had to change. I mean, not only was the team, but, Marlon was counting on me to be able to utilize that knowledge and information that he gave me because of his absence. So I think that was just kind of a shocker, just realizing, how quickly something could change, especially so early in the season.
Did you know you'd be the starter right away? Did Frank tell you that day, the next week?
No, all I knew is that I would be getting a lot more reps than I was previously going to be getting. So then that kind of just made my mind start churning, saying, I need to be ready to go. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, they always talk about how it's the next man up mentality, and you really never anticipate that happening, so early. And it sucks. It sucks. That's something that sucks about this game, but I had to really kind of change my mindset quickly.
We'll go last one here, Lara Overton.
JT, I know that you and Dare didn't share time necessarily together at Wisconsin, but he's getting the opportunity in Jacksonville. Just curious if maybe when you were being recruited by Wisconsin, if you had much interaction with him, if he maybe made any impressions on you with that, sharing that lineage of coming through the Wisconsin program.
Yeah, it's always fun being able to see a fellow Badger, and definitely, going on my recruiting visit, was able to get in contact with him, and definitely Corey Clement, who is also kind of from the same area as me, which was really, really fun, and being able to to speak with those guys, but then going through my career, being able to get tips and, words of encouragement and praise from both of those guys, Corey and Adare, has been something that was a huge help for me throughout my college career. And now I can't wait to go and see my guy when he comes in here on Sunday.
Do you guys talk at all this week? Do you trade any texts or anything?
Yeah, definitely. And we just talked about how we can't wait to see each other. It's just something about when you see those guys, even if you didn't play with those guys, I mean, just that Badger pride, it runs deep, and you just can't wait to connect with those guys every chance you get.